Welcome to Rebel Nation, a podcast that covers it all. From politics to entertainment, we've got you covered. Warmed, entertained, and engaged. Who knows, you might learn something new.
So if you're ready to challenge the norms and ignite the conversations,
stay right here and become a rebel. Join the nation. Become a rebel. Don't miss out on the conversation that challenges the status quo.
Rebel Nation.
Every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Live on Rumble and Stationhead. Download Stationhead in the Apple and Android Play Store. Search for @Nation Radio. Become a rebel. Become a rebel. And join the nation. Hey everybody, this here is Rebel. Hey, welcome to the Rebel Nation, where we take the best and the worst of society and try to make it a little bit more sensible. We share our opinions, we share our thoughts and everything else. If you've never watched any of our shows, we're live on Rumble every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. This link will be in the description. Also, we're going live on Stationhead, which we broadcast around the world. And there you can call in, or you can jump on, download the app, jump on, and you can come and talk to us live. So keep that in mind. All those links will be in the description. But let's get into this show. What we're going to be talking about tonight is like I said, know the culture. Know the culture. If you're going out of country into a different country, know the culture before you go there. Know their religious beliefs. Know their dress code. A lot of these countries have dress codes. A lot of these countries, you know, I'm not talking about like Europe and you know, Canada and things like that, but you need to know their cultures too, because they are different than ours here in America. And if you don't know them, they can lead you into a big heaping mess of trouble. And just as Tierra Young Allen found out here back in April, she's a 29-year-old truck driver. She goes by the TikToker name of Sassy Trucker. She has been driving truck, I think she said, since she was like real, you know, she was 21. I mean, you have to be 21 to drive the big rigs that she drives. So, but she's been driving for quite a while. Anyways, it all took out. She went back in April. She started out with a friend of hers. They went to Dubai for a little R&R, you know, just going up there, chilling out. And from what I've seen, some of her TikToks, she's been there before. So, I mean, it wasn't anything new to her. So she should have understood the culture and everything else. But they went to Dubai on vacation. Well, they had a rental car and they were in a fender bender. Well, when the police came and everything else, they did the investigation. They towed the rental car back to the rental car company. And the police told her that they would have to go back and get their stuff from the rental car company. They didn't allow them to take anything out of the vehicle there at the accident scene. Which is a little bit different here, because usually the cops will let you take things out, you know, as long as there's not a crime being committed, they'll let you take your stuff out of your vehicle. But apparently with this situation, they didn't allow that. They towed it back to the car or the rental car agency. And this is where it kind of becomes kind of confusing what we're used to, like I said. And there's a lot of speculation that this is a scam that is, you know, between the rental car agencies and law enforcement and stuff like that. I mean, we have those up here too. We have the insurance scams. You know, they'll like stop suddenly in front of you and you run into them, bump them, and then the passenger or the driver or the passenger comes out and sits there and complains, "Oh, whiplash," you know, those kind of scams. That's kind of what this one here reminds me of. And the more I've researched it, there's a couple of other people that fell into the same situation with the rental car agencies. But anyways, what happened? She went back to the rental car agency. She wanted to get her stuff out of there. Well, the rental car attendant or whatever they called up there, he just, I guess, became very belligerent with her, started raising the voice, started screaming and yelling at her. Well, in turn, she raised her voice and screamed and yelled. And the rental car guy, called the cops and filed charges against her. Well, they arrested her, they haven't charged her yet, but they took her passport. She can't leave Dubai now. So she's been stuck in Dubai since April. And they, you know, she's got a bunch of support and everything else. trying to get her out. But it's just kind of crazy, and come to find out that screaming or yelling in public places is against the law there in Dubai. It's a very strict law. I think it's the reason why they could get away with like the scamming of it. I can see how it was so much scams, and like I said, it's what you got to be careful of that any country. I mean, go down to Mexico. You get pulled over by the cops there, or by the federales there, and you have a chance of, if you have $200 on you, you can give them $200 and they'll just let you be on your way. But a lot of times, if they feel it necessary, they might take you. They might take you and put you in jail just for a normal traffic infraction that you would do here. So that's what I'm saying. Know your culture when you go to these countries. Yeah. So this was kind of like I said. She was in an accident. She went to go get her belongings out. They got into an altercation. She raised her voice, and that's not something you do. You don't scream. You don't yell, and everything else. Like I said, and it's still an ongoing investigation. So charges haven't. She hasn't been to court yet, and that's the one thing too you got to realize with these countries is you don't have the same rights as you do here to a speedy trial. They could put this kind of incident off for months, years. It's just kind of crazy. But I don't know. It's just I feel bad for her, but in turn, she's been there before, so she should have known. Because according to her TikTok, she was there back in 2022. So she should have known what the laws were. But now, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. There's not a lot of communication going on. Her mother's is her go-to between the United States and there. But like I said, always know their laws and their country and their social rules, because like I said, we're not that strict here. Our social rules are our rights, but we have our things like, you can't walk around nude, you can't do things like that. I mean, in some cities you can, like New York, I believe women can go topless if you want to. I believe that's in their laws. I know they tried that down here where I'm from about women going topless. It passes a state law, but the cities put morality laws into place to where you had to be covered up. So that wasn't around very well. But what I'm saying, those are the kind of laws you got to worry about. Even going state to state, you got to know your different laws. But back to Tiara. Now she's being charged with breaking the social law of yelling in public, which probably would equal to, it's kind of like it equals to an assault here, I'm assuming, without, they're not going to take your passport. But they confiscated her passport. She's not been able to leave the country. She's on the do not fly list. But like I said, she's waiting for a court date, and right now the consulate's involved. There's an organization called Detained in Dubai that's involved. They're trying to get with the local consulate there and try to come up with some remedy so she's not gonna, she has a chance of going to jail and spending jail time in a desert prison out there in Dubai. If y'all don't know about Dubai, it's nothing. Dubai's like it's a city right in the middle of a big ass desert. There's nothing else around it. People fly in, fly out. That's how you get. I mean, there's nothing else around it. But it's about Rada Sterling. She's the CEO of Detained in Dubai. She's helping Alan out with her case. She's helped out a bunch of other people. I went on their website, and it's kind of interesting. Some of the things, they don't give their clients' names out or anything like that, but they kind of like break down their stories or what they've went through and things like that. That's where she sits there and says this is like becoming a problem down there in Dubai, is this rental car scam. There's another case out there to where, he's went through the same thing. I believe he's back now, but they target tourists. And especially if you have any type of influence, if you're, rich, famous, or whatever, they're going to really target you. Kind of like here, but, at least here, you're not going to, go to jail. But the scam is, it says, like I said, she's not the last one. I mean, the rental car scams have been going on around Dubai. The rental car agencies, they blackmail a tourist just like they do her. They tell them that they can have their stuff back for a large amounts of money. And I can't remember exactly how much. I believe it was like $20,000 is what they wanted, if I remember right, reading some of this stuff. It was a huge amount of money. They wanted a huge amount of money to get her stuff back. But since she's yelled at him, the money is not even in play anymore. So now she's got to wait to go in front of the court system up there and figure something out. And hopefully she gets out of there and gets to come back, or she's going to be spending some time in prison. But right now, this Rada, she is contacted the Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee and Senator Ted Cruz from Texas, considering, Tiara's from Texas. They contacted her to see if they can do something about getting everything taken care of. So we'll see how that is. But the basis of this story is know the laws. This is like in Dubai, they're part of the Islamic and Sharia law. So if y'all don't know what that's all about, Sharia law is very, very strict. The Islamic, religion is also very strict. They don't allow, I don't know, this is kind of strict, but one thing you got to remember is a lot of these countries are not democratic like we are. So like I said, Dubai follows the Islamic and Sharia law, but I don't know. She should have known that. That's the thing that gets me, is she should have known. Maybe she didn't know. Maybe she did. I mean, she's young. You think she would have known if she'd been there before. But if you're going to go in the country, make sure you know these laws. Like I said, you don't have your American rights don't flow over in countries like that. You have no rights over there. You're a tourist. You're a interloper. You just don't matter over there. You're just there to enjoy your time, spend money, make them rich. It's about all it is. So with this in mind, keep the basic things to remember is that you can look all this stuff up on Google, and I'll leave some of the descriptions I'll leave some links in the descriptions about where you can go to find this thing. But some of the things about Dubai I thought was kind of interesting. Number one, your medications. With everybody, if you're diabetic, make sure your insulins are okay. If you're on antipsychotics, make sure they're okay. I'll leave that website in the description on YouTube and on Rumble. But yeah, they have a 0 drug tolerance policy. So be very, very sure that you check your medicines and contact the United Arab Emirates and find out. You can go to their website and find out what prescriptions and stuff like that are allowed. Your clothing. Some of these things I thought was like, wow, when we were talking about this the other night. Your clothing. Be sure you understand the cultural beliefs, the religious laws pertaining to what you can and cannot wear. They're really, really strict because of the fact of their religious, they're very religious Islamic Sharia laws. Islamic is very, very religious. But one of the things is keep yourself covered up. I do believe it sit there and said, you don't have to cover your face, but make sure you're not wearing like tank tops, tube tops, out in the public areas. Now, if you're back at your hotel or your resort or whatever, the the swimming pool. But if you're out on a public street, do not wear your tube tops. Do not wear your skimpy clothes. Do not wear your Daisy Dukes, your butt cutoffs, whatever they're called nowadays. I don't know. I'm not up with the times on the clothing. I remember Daisy Dukes. I think they're still called Daisy Dukes. I don't know. But yeah, just make sure that when you're going someplace, make sure that where you're at, your attire is allowed where you're at. Just automatically assume if you're going to Dubai, don't walk around in public half nude. Even the men have to be covered up. They can't be bare chested out in public areas. It is kind of crazy. Swearing, be careful not to swear. Do not yell or get into an argument. Fights in public area. This is a big no-no. Drinking It is illegal to drink in the public areas or even to be drunk in public areas. So if you go to your hotel room, get drunk, and walk out onto the street, it's not like the pedestrian under the influence that you get around here. You know, like Vegas, especially if you're like used to going to Vegas, and where you could walk around anywhere on the streets out there and get drunk and everything else. It's not like that. So there, be very careful. Don't drink in public places and don't be drunk. Public affection is not allowed. So that means no hand holding, no kissing, no arm around the shoulder. That would be very, very hard, especially if you're in a relationship. Now I do believe if you're married, you can hold hands if I remember right. But if you're not married and you're there as boyfriend, girlfriend, or boyfriend, girlfriend, girl, you know, things like that, do not show any public affection. Cohabitating. This is what I thought was really interesting. Cohabitating. If you are not married, you cannot stay in the same room. So if you cannot prove when you're checked in that you're Mrs. and Mrs. or Mr. and Mrs. or Mrs. and Mrs. or, you know, whatever it is, you cannot stay in the same room. You have to be married to be able to stay in the same room. Another thing is homosexuality is illegal there. If you visit there and you're gay, trans, or gender diverse, never, ever, whatever you do, never show public affection. And I probably would, I don't know, to be safe, I would really like people's take on this. If you are gay, homosexual, transgender, or anything else, and if you've ever been to Dubai, leave me some information in the description, in the comments, or whatever, or DM me on Twitter. I would really love to talk with you and find out what your experience was over there. But yeah, that is kind of crazy. Is that so? I mean, especially with everything going on with LGBTQ plus and everything else going on right now, the trans community, all those chaos that's going on over here. It's really, really interesting to know that they're in and this isn't the only country. There's a few other countries that don't believe in homosexuality either, but that you could actually go to jail. You could spend years in prison for being a homosexuality and also have fines. And there's another thing that they have a religious holiday called Ramadan. I was almost messed that up. Ramadan. That is the holy day to where that is the time where you see on TV shows and stuff like that, that during the daytime, at certain hours of the day, you know, Islamic's the ones that does the prayer at certain hours of the day. But Ramadan is a designated time in their calendar year that you cannot drink, you cannot smoke, you cannot eat during daylight hours. Unless you're in your room or in a designated screened off area that is not visible to public. So like a restaurant or stuff like that, but you can't do any of the normal things you can during that session of Ramadan. So that's very interesting. But like I said, this is we're just talking about Dubai right now, just because of the fact of Tiara. I really hope that she finds the help she needs to get out of there, because like I said, she hasn't been charged. She's been charged. She hasn't went to court yet. So she's waiting right now on a court date. She's been there, what, 3.5 months, almost 4 months now. So it's kind of a scary situation, you know, when you go to those countries. Like I said, Google it. It's on Google, man. Everything is on Google nowadays. All you got to do, and plus, if you're going to a different country, go to their website. I'm sure they have a tourist website. You've got a travel agency, ask your travel agent. But get the information, all the information. Make sure you know what you're getting into before you get there. Like I said, we're so used to all the freedoms and everything we have here. You know, our social norms that we classify our social norms. But okay, So, I mean, that's going to be it for us. I just wanted to throw that out there, kind of like a quick video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you found this information enlightening, let me know. But like I said, if anybody's ever been to Dubai, hit me up because I want to bring you on the show. I want your experience there. I want the firsthand. Like I said, I'm only doing it by reading. So if you guys have some firsthand experience about going to Dubai, and if any of this stuff is wrong, let me know. But I pulled this off their website, so let me know if it's really this strict. If you've ever fallen into a situation to where you got scammed or anything like that in any country, jump on. Let's do this. Come on, the nation, and let's talk about it. But anyways, like I said, all of the descriptions will be in all the links and everything to the websites to the UAE. This story and everything else will be in the description. So I hope you enjoy this. If you guys are on Spotify, make sure you leave some comments up there. I appreciate all the comments, all the feedback and everything else. But join us again, like I said, every Monday night on Rumble, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go through about 90 minutes worth of conversations and everything else. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Hey everybody, this is Rebel. Thank you for watching this. If you like what you see, if you found anything interesting in here that you wanted to add to, also if you find something that I might have mistrued or whatever, please leave a comment. Leave a, just leave a comment. Either if you're on Spotify, Rumble, YouTube, leave a comment. And also join us every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live on Rumble and we'll be live on Station Head. Make sure you download the Station Head app. The links will be in the description. And join the nation and join the conversation. We love everybody's opinions and everything else, but also join some of these other shows that I have over here on this side over here that I'm pointing to. I believe this side. I can never say the cameras are backwards. Anyways, I'm going to shut it now. You guys have a good rest of your night. We'll talk to you later. Bye.